Hello everyone, welcome to Fun Learning. So are you ready to learn while having fun? We've got you. So for today's episode, our topic will be about office systems and procedures. If you want to know and learn more about this topic, just keep on watching. We are now going to talk about the definition and functions of an office system. We will narrow the definitions according to two people. First is Mark Gore. He defined business as a system that has its output goals and objectives that the business can be divided into small systems that vary according to the organization of the business. While the next one is George Terry. He says that the business have a number of subsystems like production control system, marketing system, office system, and so on. But the office system itself, it's already the subsystem of the whole business. In general, office systems are a network of routines which we designed and integrated to carry out office work. In other words, systems comprises of various interconnected routines.
But the question is, why do we need an office system? Is there a need for it? Well, to answer that, yes, every office has an objective to achieve a certain goal. And to achieve that, there is a series of tasks to be performed at every step. Basically, when there's a system established in the office, and over the period of time, if everybody in the office follows the system, it becomes a procedure of the office. This makes the office run smoothly because the tasks are divided to be performed by different systems. To sum up their definitions, systems are a continuation of several procedures integrated together in such a way as to attain the needed objectives. It is defined as a network of routines which are designed and integrated to carry out office work.
We will now tackle about the principles of office systems. There are different kinds of offices, and each office has its own systems. Those systems are not identical in all offices. However, whatever system is involved in the office, it should ensure maximum efficiency, not just for the betterment of the office, but for the betterment of the whole.
Here are the important principles of office system. 1. Good flow of work without bottlenecks should be ensured. 2. Unnecessary duplication of work and records should be avoided. 3. Movement of staff should be kept to a minimum. 4. Unnecessary writing would be avoided. 5. Best use of specialization should be made. 6. The amount of paperwork should be the absolute minimum. 7. The principle of management by exception should be used. 8. Only a few exceptions to the functional procedure should be allowed. 9. Unnecessary checking should be avoided. 10. Possibilities to make best use of machines should be provided. And lastly, 11. The system should be simple and easy to understand.
Earlier, we had discussed about the definition of system. Now we're going to talk about the definition of procedure. Procedure denotes a planned sequence of operations for handling recurring business transactions uniformly and consistently. It is a guide to management as to who should do what, how, and when. In an office, procedures are necessary to ensure efficiency in the workplace, such as handling calls, paperwork, filing, and customer interaction can all fall under the procedure. So according to Charles O. Liberty, office procedures are a series of clerical acts organized under supervision to accomplish the purpose of the office. Let's now move on to the definition of system, procedure, and method according to Zane K. According to Zane K, system, interrelated procedure necessary to achieve a well-defined goal. while according to Zenke, procedure is a related method necessary to complete a work process. And lastly, method for Zenke is a specific clerical or mechanical operations or activities.
Next, we are going to illustrate the system concept. It is a system designed for purchasing office supplies, also called the purchasing system. There are three main procedure and system concept. In every procedures, there are corresponding methods. In procedure 1, you need to select sources of supply. Methods: A. Fill out quotation form. B. Send forms to prospective vendors. C. Obtain quotations from vendors. D. Catalog respective quotations. On the second procedure, you can already choose for the order supplies. Methods: A. Fill out purchase order. B. Send purchase order to vendor. Lastly, receive supplies. Methods: A. Check order to verify quantity and acceptability. B. Deliver supplies to appropriate departments. C. Notify accounts payable.
With these procedures and methods, we can easily do things with less hassle and in a well-coordinated manner. And the next time that we need to do the same thing or the same work, we already have a procedures to follow. This whole system concept makes things easier for the office. What are the importance of systems and procedures? Good office system and procedure helps in smooth running of office and help to reduce delay in work. That's the first importance of the business and procedures. Well, the next one will be systems and procedures include internal checking. They assist in the prevention of fraud and have control on work. The next one will be a good system will reduce the chance of error and improve the efficiency of the organization. Well, the last one will be a good system will give instructions to employees what has to be done, when and where, and it gives information on the organization.
Benefits of systems and procedures. Now that we have known the importance of systems and procedures, let us proceed to the benefits of this. 1. Errors in the smooth flow of office work can be easily eliminated. 2. Uniformity can be achieved and the duplication of various routines can be avoided. 3. Systems and routines help in training office personnel in the efficient performance of their work without supervisors. 4. Systems ensure better control of work. The possibility of fraud is eliminated. And lastly, number 5. Work efficiency in the office increases and unnecessary forms are eliminated. It reduces the cost of office operations.
Limitations of systems and procedures. There is always a limitation in all things, and that includes the system and procedure. Here are some limitations for systems and procedures. Number 1, the efficiency of the system depends on planning. Number 2, strict adherence to a system makes it inflexible and it may not work smoothly. Number 3, the system may not be useful when changes take place. And lastly, the efficiency of the system should be evaluated and decided by making a cost-benefit analysis of it. To sum up, office system and procedure, it really helps a lot for the convenience of the system. With the proper use and implementation of this, everything will surely be in a well-coordinated manner, which will lead to more efficient of work.
Let us now move on to the flow of work process and management. Here are some definitions. Flow of work is concerned with the way work move along with one operation to another. It aims at greater efficiency in every office activity so that costs are cut down and delays are eliminated. Flow of work is a problem to be solved by the managers. Why is it important to study workflow? It can help the office minimize room for errors and increase its overall efficiency. This in turn dramatically improves the business. Managers can make quicker, smarter decisions, and employees are empowered to collaborate in a more productive way. However, developing a workflow in your business is not that easy. It can often be incredibly challenging, as it requires that you can see the big picture while simultaneously paying attention to the hundreds of small details that go into it. But with this strategy, it can help you improve the efficiency, overall revenue, and day-to-day operations of your business.
So now let us talk about flowcharts. Flowcharts are prepared for the purpose to know whether the flow of work in an office is ideal or there is scope for improvement. There are various kinds of flowcharts that can be used in the office. The following types of flowcharts can be used for analysis. So we will give some examples of flowcharts, and the first one will be office layout chart. This chart analyzes the flow of work of each part of the office and eliminates waste motion and backtracking. So, in the chart, lines are drawn to indicate the movement of office forms and documents from operation to operation. So, this is the example of the graph. As you can see, in the first step is send email to notify reviewers. So, after the first step, it will lead to the second step, which is the approver reviews the document. So after the second step, the third step will have the two options, which is if it is being approved, it will go to the next step under the approve, while if it is being rejected, it will go to the next step under the reject. Then after the steps, it is the end of the chart. Next type of flow chart is flow process chart, or also known as work simplification chart. By using certain standard symbols, the chart shows the flow of work under a specific procedure. Presentation and reading is easy because the charts are more graphic with symbols. It helps to simplify the work. These standard symbols have been developed by the American Society of Mechanical Engineers in New York. So the last type of chart is management type flow chart. Management type flow chart is fully illustrated chart, and each operation or steps involved are described in short and descriptive sentence. The chart is written and read horizontally from left to right.
Smooth flow of work can be ensured by the use of straight-line flow of work method. This method is applicable for the factory as well as the office. It can be described as the method in which the work flows while progressing from one operation to another. It should follow a course approximating as nearly as may be possible in a straight line. In order to avoid the wastage of time, effort, and delay in the flow of information, the work must always move forward and in a straight line.
Problems in smooth flow of work. First, unequal flow of work. Take the department responsible for the payroll and the other department that is busy on a day-to-day basis as an example. Compared to others, this particular department or this payroll department gets busy when payday is to arrive. Second, interruptions to work. Delays from one department may also delay the work of another. Thirdly, unequal times needed for different operations. As mentioned earlier, for a particular department, they are given a lot of time to finish the work, while the payroll department is only given a day or two to finish everything up and submit the completed salary or wages of the employees on time. Fourth is lack of standard. The amount of work assigned to one is not equal to the other, and that will be a trouble for the one given heavier or many tasks than the others. Fifth is lack of planning and scheduling. It is important to have a plan and schedule. Sixth is a faulty layout. Having a solid plan from the very beginning is necessary. It will lessen the work of the team as time goes by, for it will prevent mistakes from being done.
So next topic will be about the office manual. What is office manual? Office manual is a handy form of book or booklet that contains information relating to the policy, organization systems, routines and procedures, methods and standards, and rules and regulations regarding the employment of an office. So, an office manual is prepared to help the employees know all the relevant information about the organization.
Why is it needed? If an organization is large in number, it is obviously composed of several departments with numbers of members of each. That is why each employee had to have their own manual in order for them to fully understand their role and how to play with it. Let me just enumerate the reasons why office manual is needed. First, employees understand their position, duties, and responsibilities in an organization. Second, employees understand their role in the achievement of office objectives. Third, there is a possibility of maintaining good relations among the employees by themselves. Fourth, both existing and new employees freed the management in getting the same information, explanations, and instructions repeatedly. Fifth, the concerned employees are held responsible if the duties are not performed by them in a specified manner. Sixth, delegation of authority can be enhanced throughout the organization setup without much difficulty. Seventh, each employee can understand the extent of authority delegated to them. Eighth, new employees are getting training with the help of office manual by knowing policies, practices, systems, routines, and procedures. And lastly, office manual is imparting refresher training to existing employees.
9 types of office manuals. First, policy manual. It's an organization rules, policies, and procedures and helps staff and management to run the business. Second, organizational manual. It describes various positions, their authority and responsibilities, job description, duties, and function of each position and organization procedures and methods. Administrative practice manual. It is the process and procedure to perform a better work performance for employees. Fourth, department practice manual. It deals with policy of the concerned department, methods, and procedures. Fifth, mailing manual. It gives detailed instruction in all phases of handling both incoming and outgoing mail. Sixth, filing manual. It's a structured set of personal data to orderly organized. 7. Rules and Regulation Manual should work according to the rules and regulations. 8. Historical Manual. It contains brief history of an enterprise that employees should know. And lastly, Multi-Purpose Manual or Handbook. Most offices prefer to have it because everything is here that you need to know, rather than having different manuals each department. 9 principles of office manuals in preparing manuals. First, centralize all authority and responsibility for the office manual program. Second, write the level of the employees who is going to use the manual. Third, prepare and revise the distribution list so that manuals are distributed among the employees without omission. Fourth, use simple and direct language. Fifth, the material should be arranged in simple manner without much complication. Sixth, the matter should have proper cross-referencing and indexing. 7. Make use of charts and diagram. 8. Revise manuals and constantly and highlight changes. 9. Periodic audit should be carried out. The 10 steps in preparation and writing office manuals. A standard and an orderly procedure should be followed while preparing office manuals. First, assigning an individual or formation of a committee. Second, preparing the list of subjects covered. Third, receiving ideas and suggestions. Fourth, verification of ideas and suggestions. Fifth, classification and arrangement of information. Sixth, preparing a draft manual. 7. Revision of the draft manual. 8. Submission for approval of top management. 9. Mechanical production of the manual. And lastly, 10. Distribution of office manual.
Distribution of office manuals. Office manuals are useless unless They are properly distributed amongst employees for whom they are meant. Organization manuals may be distributed only amongst the major executives and in rare cases amongst those with lesser responsibility. Next will be about administrative management functions of modern office. So, let me give you first an idea about the modern office that is being described here. Of course, it is a place where clerical work is performed and where all kinds of paperwork, including letters, correspondence, files, records, are dealt with. Or it is a central place where all sorts of clerical work is done to coordinate and control the affairs of the whole organization.
There are 7 administrative management functions of modern office. First, carrying out the management processes should be properly carried out for an effective performance of primary office functions. There are 3 main management processes. First, planning. Second, organizing. Third, controlling. Second, office systems and procedures. Each part of the work should be carefully analyzed for planning systems and procedures. Third, purchase of office forms and stationery. It is the basic needs of an office. Also, it is the function of the office to look after the standardization, selection, and purchase of office stationery and its distribution to various departments as and when required. 4. Purchase or fixed assets. It refers to furniture that is needed to adequate fixed assets for the efficient and economical performance of office work for the different departments. 5th, staffing. It refers to the process of finding the right employee with appropriate qualifications or experience and recruiting them to fill a position, role, or job. 6th, safeguarding of assets. The assets of an organization have to be safeguarded from misuse, loss, or damage by theft and fire or any other means. Also, it is considered essential for the proper functions of the organization. Lastly, public relation. The state of the relationship between the public and the company.
Basically, these are the secondary functions of an office, but without its efficient and smooth execution, performance within the office will be disturbed. For the next topic, it will be focused on the strategies on how to communicate effectively in a workplace.
First, leaders need to understand their role as communicators. Communication is key to success in whatever thing may it be. That is why a leader must be a good communicator to avoid misunderstandings.
Second is encourage channels for two-way feedback. Well, it is very important if the company itself values their employees by having them heard, but it is more important that they are instilling their company's strategic priorities into their heart and mind. In that way, they will not be misled on their work. Rather, they will be more fired up in doing their individual tasks way better than before. Because as long as they know the strategies and goals of one's company, they will surely figure out the things they can do to contribute for the company's success.
Third, understand if messages are landing by testing employees. Employer must think of a way that can practice or test employees if they really do know the company's strategy and priorities. It could be a quiz or a random recitation in order for the employer to know whether they really know them or not. It's important to make it clear to employees that this isn't a punitive exercise, but instead a means to measure how well corporate communications are being received.
Next on is give management a channel to focus on strategic communication. This one is simply a channel or something that all the employees can look into the so-called strategic communication whenever they wanted so that they can never lose sight for their goal.
Fifth will be the conduct engagement surveys. Not necessarily mean a written survey because these are the ones that reflects their work progress. If they know this strategic communication, it will be obvious by just looking at their work. If If not, they can still find a way to improve a certain area where it is needed.
6. Measure multiple engagement metrics to understand communication effectiveness. Here are the examples: intranet usage and adoption, company meeting feedback, email readership statistics, focus group results, external social reviews, and the last one, leadership feedback.
7. Push transparency. Why? Because as I've said earlier, it is important that the employees feel that they are valued. Do make an intranet channel where they can keep track of their progress. Being praised by being a good employee is such a great feeling that can level up someone's self-esteem that will surely make him or her more productive.
8. Encourage cross-departmental and cross-location collaboration. In a company, there is not just one or two departments, there are actually many of them. Communication improves when networks strengthen. With the proper communication and collaboration or work distribution with other department or location, all of them will be synced and no one will be left behind. It is just a matter of teamwork.
9. Meet gossip and fake news head-on. It's not new to have something like this within your workplace, and this kind of matter does not matter at all. With proper communication and planning, things like this will be prevented. In order to prevent such fake news and spreading, it is important for an employee to face the gossip itself, and everyone must be ready for a confrontation. It doesn't really have to be something like quarrel. Instead, it is more of facing the truth, the reality, whether it is right or wrong.
So with all the things mentioned, whatever strategy it is, the most important thing to remember is that communication between employees is essential for building and maintaining strong relationships at work. Having strong bonds with your coworker increases your work value and also make everyone look into just one straight path that will lead them to their goal as a company. So moving on, we too truly think of the reason why all the things I've said earlier are important and how will it affect an employee. To start, I think it is because an employee needs to be productive. It doesn't mean in a weekly manner, instead on a day-to-day basis. Having your pile of work done in just a couple of days or within a day is such a relief, and this just shows that you are really productive in your work. So aside from the strategies, these are the things that will help your employees be more productive.
Equip your team with the right tools. It is necessary for the employees to have the proper apps or software, equipment, tools to avoid delay in their work.
Improved cultural fit with better recruiting means that, starting from the hiring process, the interviewer must see through the applicant whether or not he or she is fit for the company culture or meet the standards that the company sets. Conversely, having someone that is fit for the role or company culture itself will make other employees work really hard and will make them more productive in work. Improve employee skills with training. Every company prepares something like seminars, workshops, and training for the improvement of the well-being of each employee. It will also aid them in learning new techniques or skills, especially on the productivity side.
Encourage autonomy by not micromanaging. Back in February of 2015, we interviewed Robbie Slaughter, a productivity expert, and he surprised us with his advice. He told us that the most effective tool for increasing team productivity is having managers back off. They have to trust the employees, even with the smallest task they give them. Managers must teach them to be more independent and not rely on them. Focus on the future with clear communication. Communication is the key to success. Without effective two-way communication, relationships end and businesses fail. Managers who effectively communicate clear expectations and responsibilities to their employees will be rewarded with an engaged and productive workforce. Boost productivity by encouraging self-care. When your team is stressed, everybody loses. But the right kind of stress is actually motivating and good for productivity. The aim is to combat burnout before it happens. Get more done with remote work. Remote workers are more productive. They log more hours, take less sick leave, and perform better, and in general are more engaged at work.
Number 8 is don't lock down social media. Checking a phone or social media during office hours might be a bit off to a manager, but cracking down on the social media platforms as a way to encourage productivity can be a serious moral killer. It is better to trust them and not meddle with their personal stuff, whether it is during their work hours. It may be just that they are trying to release their stress by browsing through social media. So next is increase employee satisfaction with great perks. So employees would rather have something to do inside the office that will make them forget just for a moment and have fun after having a stressful hours or day. That is why managers or employers must pay more attention to the things that satisfy their employees. Something like incentives or providing them leisure area inside the company. Gain insight by measuring productivity. When you measure your employees' productivity and discuss your findings with them, you're letting them know that you expect them to care about their work, perform it as well as they can, and work toward achieving individual goals that are aligned with the company goals. Lastly, get higher quality work by fostering morale. Do not just look at their productivity rate. Also, employers must check if they are still having fun, enjoying their work, and are not all stressed with their jobs. It is the main point to make them more productive and at the same time loving what they are doing. So, to sum everything up, improving the productivity of the employees can help the firm increase and utilize the capacity of the human resources it has. Most productive companies have happy and healthy employees, which are the basis of a successful organization. So that ends today's episode. I hope you've learned something from this video, whether you are a student or an office worker. So if you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!